Seems like we've already been here before, but now we're not getting fuel to the fuel filter. So, can't hear the fuel pump, so it sounds like a fuel pump problem. Hey guys, Ogden Restorations, and we are back with the 1988 GL1500 Part 17. As you see there, we are getting power to the fuel pump, but we aren't hearing any type of noise whatsoever. So it sounds like a bad fuel pump. And if you remember from the last GL1500 fuel pump video, these fuel pumps cost around 30 bucks versus an OEM, which is 300. So I figured, you know, eventually I would have one of these that went bad. You know, the first Goldwing I got one bad right out of the box, but the company sent me another one. This time though, this fuel pump seized after about 2 weeks. But the company stopped answering my calls and everything like that, so that was kind of frustrating right there. I was jumping it, positive, positive, negative, negative, just to see, you know, ensure that it wasn't a power issue. But I wasn't getting any type of pumping action whenever I jumped it. So now we're just going to start removing it. Again, I figured that I would have a problem with some of these eventually. On the website, or the company's site off eBay, it said it has a lifetime warranty, but like I was telling you, they got to where they wouldn't answer my messages or anything. But in my mind, I could still buy 10 of these fuel pumps for the cost of one OEM. And I do have one of these running in a motorcycle, and it's been running over 1.5 years perfectly. So, in my mind, you know, if you're going to get one of these, get a spare as well. Just something, and I would keep it in your saddlebag. As you can see here, it's going to be very easy to change if you already have this fuel pump in there. But I mean, for 30 bucks for one of them, it's pretty hard to beat compared to a $300 to $400 OEM one. And this video is going to go a little bit quicker. If you're replacing the aftermarket fuel pump with another aftermarket fuel pump, you know, you don't have to splice any wires, you don't have to cut any fuel line, anything like that like you did the original time whenever you put this aftermarket fuel pump on. And removing it is easy. You know, you got to take off the seat, and then you got those 10 millimeter nuts. And then you just got to separate the fuel line. Here I'm using those fuel line removal pliers. They're really good at loosening up fuel lines that have been stuck on. I don't really know what caused this one to fail. I did have a filter on it. So right there, waited for all the gas to dry, and now I am manually jumping the fuel pump. Positive on positive, negative on negative. You want to wait till it is dry, because gasoline is flammable, and there is a chance you might create a spark whenever you manually jump it like that, just to test it out. Whenever I tested it out by manually jumping it with a fresh 12-volt battery, I didn't get anything, so in turn I know that this fuel pump is bad and it's not wiring. It's pretty easy to get these off. Use a JIS screwdriver, this one's a number 2, on the clamp that's holding it down, and then the clamp that connects the fuel line to it. Next, you're going to need a 6 millimeter to get those nuts off, as you can see right there. There's 2 of them, one for the positive, one for the negative. Don't lose those. If you are replacing with a fuel pump, the new one might have it. As you can see, there's the positive and the negative there. So most of these fuel pumps do have a little spot that shows you which is positive and which is negative, which is nice because some of the ones that I got before didn't, and I had to manually test them. So my crimp connection, whenever I pulled it off, it was a little looser than I'd like it to be. It was still fine, but I felt like it might break eventually, and so I just want to go ahead and take the time and replace it since I already have it all out. One thing you could do that I didn't is if you wanted to, you could apply shrink wrap to all the connections that you made. You're not really worried about corrosion because at the end of the day, you know, it's gasoline, it's not water. So you will have some tarnish and stuff build up, but it's not going to, you know, completely corrode away the connections like water does. Now just install them with the 6mm nuts. Positive on positive, negative on negative. And boom, there it is. It's pretty easy and pretty simple. So now we just got to drop it in. If you're a medical personnel, drop it in like an OPA. Then you got to install the fuel lines, all those little electrical connectors, and the nuts. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, my only complaint with these fuel pumps is the customer service from the brand that I got on eBay. At the end of the day, you know, it is just a $30, $40 fuel pump, but compared to buying a new OEM, the price is way cheaper. And that was a deciding factor for me. But again, if you're going to buy these, please buy a spare. I don't want you to leave you stranded. But that's all I got today. This is Octane Restorations. This was the 1988 GL1500 Restoration Part 17, replacing the fuel pump for the second time. And as you can see right here, you can hear it prime. Thanks again for watching. You have a good rest of your day.